2025 is right around the corner. Have you guys truly given any thought on the new year or what you're still tied to from 2024? So for 2024, are you ready to get rid of it? What have you learned from January till right now, which is December 2024? Have you lost things? Have you won things? Have you changed things? Are you still the same? I don't know. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris with One BHealthy Life. And today our podcast is all about the transition from 2024 to 2025. What is 2025 going to bring us? Is it another goal, another year to take on? Will this year be like every other year? Is it going to be a letdown? Why do we consider it a letdown? Why do we set ourselves up for such expectations on our own life, things that we can't even change throughout the year? I don't need January to define me or the first of the year to define me as far as who I was in the year prior. I grow every day. I grow every week. I grow every month. And yes, of course, I grow every year. And I learn from mistakes that I have made. But I do not challenge myself to where it's so difficult that when I do not achieve that goal or that thing, then I'm not truly disappointed. So, what have you lost? What have you gained? Think about last year. Think about the year collectively. Do this from the past few years, even the past 10 years, and how many mistakes you made. We've all made an enormous amount of changes, um, lifestyle changes, job changes, of course, some, relationship changes. I mean, that's life. That's what life does. So why does 2025 bring on, um, you know, such expectations? And, some people even get all torn up in it. They get anxiety from it. You can create so many things in the new year, but if you really truly are doing it for the right reasons and not because it's the new year, then 9 chances out of 10 you should succeed. Have we made new values? That's one of the biggest thing is taking on values and then holding true to them. Habits, bad habits, good habits. Have you lost weight? Have you got healthy? Did you get fat? Did become on dependent on drugs or medication? Or did you divorce? Did you get married? Did you have a child? I mean, there are a million things that I can list of what people have gone through over the last year, good and bad. But what do you want to do different in 2025 that you can control? I mean, there are some things that we can't control. So when you're looking back in 2024 and you're saying, okay, let me think of January, let me think of February, let me think of March, and you can go through each month and then you can sit back and say, well, shit, I didn't change one bit. I'm still married to the same guy. I'm still working in the same job. I'm still wearing the same clothes. I didn't change my weight. My body still aches. I'm still unhealthy. I mean, my kids are still brats. The house still isn't cleaned. The yard still is a mess. I'm still driving the same car. Blah, blah, blah. You just described so many that you have to look at that and say, you're not alone, because you're not alone. And you think, okay, well, I didn't have any change, but and I'm still the same. That should be good. No, that's not good. Successful people in life do not sit back and wait for opportunity. They go and they seek and they find opportunity. They make opportunity. They create opportunity. And they make change. They want change. They don't want to stay in the same job, the same house, the same yard, looking at the same mess in their garage. They want change. I am one of those people. I get stagnant too easy. and I have to make change. I'm forever making change in anything. And I am a firm believer that change is good. Change is growth. And I did a podcast on change. There are many people that won't reach out because they don't want failure. They don't want to extend themselves. They don't want to, you know, go after something and then fail. They think that living with that thing is easier than the failure, the heart of the failure, what it feels like to fail. So January comes and you start a goal. And of course, the number one goal, I think it was 82%, I just read it. 82% of the people in the United States will go after a health journey. And I think it was only 22% will continue that journey, after 6 months, whereas everybody sloths off within the first 30, 60, and 90 days. So, and I don't have the full stats on it because that's not what this is. But if you start something in January and you set your goals way too high and your expectations and you don't match that, you're going to fail. And then you're going to feel like a failure and you're not going to want to try again. I mean, why does it matter? Year after year, we make a lot of promises to ourselves, to our family. And, January is like a do-over. It's like a world do-over. January 1st, it's a do-over. There's a lot of people, that say that mornings are a do-over. What you did yesterday, today is a do-over. And that's the truth. That is the truth. And I've heard that in counseling with people, that are in battling addiction and alcoholism and different things like that, is that, every day is a new day. It has to be, because you have to shorten the reins on that. Addiction is every day battling that. Dieting is every day you're battling it. Trauma and insecurities, and, there's a million things that we battle every day that you have to use every single morning as your do-over. And January is a big do-over. It gives us a mulligan almost, or a pardon, or it allows us to forgive any screw ups that we did in the year prior. And that's just everybody across the board. So right now, from what's going on in our life and what's going on month to month and what's going on day to day and hour to hour, the year starts to end and we wind down and we have to say, okay, what changes do I want to make? What big changes do I want to make? What things do I want to happen, and where do I want to be? What do I want to be doing? And why do I want to change? I think that's like the biggest question right now. If we could just step back a minute. Let's just step back. If you're asking why you need to make so many changes in 2025 coming up, then you're asking yourself, I'm cheated. Have you cheated yourself? And that's what I'm going to ask you. Have you cheated yourself? So while you're listening to this, I'm going to ask a lot of questions. So when I do, maybe if it comes to your mind, then answer it to yourself. But have you cheated yourself in 2024? Have you been in pain most of the time? And I'm talking about physical pain. And, basically the physical pain, as in, did you hurt yourself and you didn't do what you're supposed to do to get well? Or are you not really targeting what's wrong with you chronically, or what's contributing to it that you need to change that? So there's a lot of things that we do that's self-inflicting for pain, and that is a physical. So are you in pain? Have you been in pain most of the year? And now we'll go to the emotional. Are you emotionally in pain? And if so, why are you emotionally in pain? Is somebody hurting you? And if they're hurting you, why? If somebody is, not in love with you anymore and wants to leave you, but you're hell bent on staying regardless whether they like you or not because it makes you feel better. Are you in pain emotionally? And I don't want to reach to the other kinds of pain of loss. Okay, that's a subject that I am not even going to touch, but there is a lot of that kind of pain, and there are ways to deal with that, but that is not this podcast today. So ask yourself for 2024, where have you grown? Think about last year Any events that destroyed you, any events that strengthened you, if you did something that made you a better person for yourself, is there something that you did that you knew was destructive, and you fell back, or you fell off the wagon or something, or were malicious on somebody, or you were jealous or whatever, and there's got to be an event that did that, and maybe you have both. Maybe you have both, and maybe you haven't grown. Maybe you think you've grown, um, but I have physically and mentally changed so much in 2024, and it was scary. And there's no doubt that change is scary. But this time last year, 2023, I was literally just analyzing my entire life, my entire being. But the one question that I can't break free from is my attitude. My attitude grew ugly. It grew worse, and it started to get to me. And if you have an unhealthy heart, or an unhealthy uh, environment, or anything that's truly unhealthy in your life, it will come out. You will become unhealthy. And I know that this time last year, I did not. I I no longer wanted to own the company that I was currently owning. And it was stressful. After 12, 13 years of doing it, it was a ride, which, it had a lot of good points to it during its time. But the industry itself is grueling. And anybody that's in it knows that. Anybody that is not just sees it from a different perspective. And I'm wonderful. I have always been a wonderful person, I must say, at being able to show the best side of everything, so that people didn't know all the heartache that was going on. And it's not just that. I do that in my personal life as well. I don't show my cards. I don't show the stress. I take the light of it. I don't live in the dark of it. But anyway, I made a decision that the first of the year I was going to turn over every single stone as to whether or not I should continue, or if I'm going to trade it in for a healthier version of myself. And while I knew that I would financially be taking a hit that many around me were not going to be very happy with, um, guess what? I took it. And I honestly made that conscious decision after hours and meditation and lists and checkoff lists and grueling moments, because it's not something you can really discuss with people. And just know that if you're going to make some changes coming the first of the year, not everybody needs to hear them, and not everybody wants to hear them, and not everybody is going to understand them. And even though you sit next to your loving and adoring wife or husband and say, "This is my best friend," oh, the hell it is. The hell it is. Everybody, maybe they are your best friend right now. I've had best friends. I have very old friends, but I have been married to people that I considered at that time my best friend at that time. But they no longer became my friend. I mean, that's what friends are. We're talking, blood brothers, blood sisters, blah blah blah. Okay. Somebody will hang with you as long as they can, but if there's an opportunity, people will always fail you in some form. And in family will fail you. So just just know that not every person you're sitting next to, yes, they're your person. I'm not trying to take away from that or belittle that. I'm just saying they're not truly always going to understand you. And if somebody that you respect, and they are who they are in your life, and you tell them something and you present them with something that is amazing that you truly want to do in your heart. Oh, I want to start a missionary, or I want to, save children, or I want to adopt a child, or I want to get more dogs, or whatever. And it doesn't coincide with them. They're going to knock it down. They're just going to hit it out of the park. And you're going to be standing there saying, "What the hell? He just took my little want or need," or she did, "and crushed it." So hold on to what you want first, and then show significance in change and yourself and everything before you start presenting your new person or new change or what you want or your goals or whatever to other people. And I'm only suggesting that based on personal experience and other people telling me that, collectively we all can say that a lot of times your mate will let you down. So let's move on. So far this year, I've been jumping between I can't catch a break, or I can't stay positive, or I can't get motivated, or whatnot. And that is a lot of what I've heard. So One Be Healthy Life is a uh, podcast that is structured around Be Healthy, which is the company that I created with supplements and a format that I want everyone to live one Be Healthy life. I want that. I have that vision. I have that thought. I have come to a happy place in my life, and I contribute all my decisions to why I'm happy. And one of the biggest things is that I'm healthy. I'm healthy. My weight is healthy. My heart is healthy. My blood, my bones, my structure, my face, my eyes, my teeth, my body. And you know what is solid on me right now? And it took me probably a year to get here because I was teetering on it last year. Is my mind, my health, my mind health is healthy. And that is something that we strive at Be Healthy to help others achieve. So when I made the decision to get rid of the company, I set a date in March. I think it was March 15th. And I told everybody that was the end of it. And I walked away with a vision, with a plan. I didn't just get a hair up my ass one day and go in and say, I quit. No, I planned it out, and I let loose, and I got out, and I ran the other way. And then I knew I had to clean up a mess, and I did. And I began this company in the process of that, knowing that one day I will be able to devote 100% to it. And that's where I'm at now. And I could not be happier. But it took me damn near a year to get to where I am now. And I'm still not even close to where I want to be. So I'm setting my goals for 2025. And I am happy. I am happy that I made that decision. The year before that, I was divorced, and I made other decisions during that time. So I have lived like other people. I have had it in moments where I couldn't catch a break. I have been positive. I have been motivated and unmotivated. I have felt, crazy, just like everybody else. But the one thing that I can pride myself on is that I never stopped. I can promise you, I have never stopped. When I get up in the morning, I am the same. I decide who I'm going to be, how I'm going to be that person, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to behave. I have a decision every single time. People piss me off all the time. Well, I could be in a store and somebody pisses me off, but I choose to just turn and just not tell somebody off or not get my smart mouth going. I just choose certain things. Somebody comes along and they're like, hey, can I borrow some money? And I'm like, no. The answer is no. I mean, when I had my company, there were a lot of things that I did that I hated myself for. And I made the decision last January that I was going to stop giving in to everybody else's plea. So if I don't have it, you're not getting it. If I can't help you, I'm not helping you. If I am going to alter my life in the process of making yours better, I'm not going to do it. So in the beginning of last year, I drew a vision board like I do every year. And sometimes I even tear the board up in the middle of the year. This year, I made a vision board, and then I took off all the things that came to pass on my vision, that came to light, I should say, and that I received and the way it worked out. And then my board was like half empty. And I think it was probably the middle of the summer, I redid my vision board. But like I do every year, it's just a plan. It's a physical plan. I like making it, and it's got pictures on it, and it's got sayings on it, and all kinds of stuff on it. But I knew that after turning every stone, closing my company, regardless, I had a plan. I did it, but I had to do it with a plan. And anybody that is looking to do anything serious like that, whether you want to choose to divorce or have a child or adopt a child or move across the country or do something else, you need to have a vision for it. But I began writing down exactly where I currently stood, and this was last year this time. And I did a lot of pros and cons, and I just kept my list of what I disliked was longer than what I liked. And I knew that was that was my turning point. When I could not, other than the paycheck, everything else took away my health, and I couldn't do it. So um, there's a lot of questions that I have developed for myself. Over the years, I've always been a journaler. I've always written my feelings. I've always written to-do lists. I've always been meticulous on my daily activities and what takes my time. Because in life, we could buy a lot of things in life, but we can't buy our time. So, I got to the conclusion there's a lot of time that I need time, and I would rather pay somebody the money to do something that I know that I could do. However, it was my time that I needed instead. And it was easier to pay somebody else as opposed to myself. So I learned how to manage my time through life, and I think I'm pretty good at it. And but the questions that I've asked myself through the years, and I still ask myself, is what parts of my life are going well right now? So right now, if I was sitting and having a conversation with you and we were discussing things, I would ask you what parts of your life are going well right now. And you would sit and list, oh, blah, 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 and that would be great. And then I could say, okay, because you're going to tell me what's good about the area and why, or what's good about the people, or what's going on. And then I would ask you right after that, what isn't working? And collectively, I'm making a list, and I will tell you which one's shorter and longer afterwards. And then I'll ask you what makes you happy, what makes you sad. And then, do you generally feel good about your relationship? Do you feel good about your relationships at work with your friends? Do you like the places you go? How do you spend your time? How do you spend your money? How do you eat? How do you dress? Are you happy with that? Uh, what does it mean to be happy in these areas? How, I guess you would then level it out and number each one. Okay, work, I could care less about work, somebody might say, or I could care less about my yard, or I can I don't care where I go, and it doesn't matter what I wear. And then you basically have to sit back and say, well, why don't you? Not everybody has to give a shit about a pretty yard or a clean house or whatever. But I think that's character right there. And again, um, they have to set the bar. We have to set the bar. Everybody personally has to set the bar of what they feel is important. Some people have faith, family, and then work. And I put my family first, and I do this and I do that, and that's fine, and that's what they live by. And if that works for them, that's good. But character plays a big role on people's personality and who they are, and if they want to even truly be healthy. So I guess if you're listening to this podcast and you think, I have some cracked areas in my life and I want to fix it, but I'm not sure, what do I need to do to motivate myself? What do I need to do to get going? What do I need to do? And I'm hoping that this podcast points you in the right direction. And you're going to ask yourself these questions that we're talking about right now, and then you'll be able to come to um, an honest conclusion as to which direction you want to go. And then if you could become happier out of it and then healthier out of it, then I've done my job. And that's it. Because people that say they don't care how they dress, my first question is why? Okay. And if they say, well, it's not that important. Well, what made you in your life, at what point in your life did you stop and say, you know what? Clothing and how we look and combing our hair and hygiene and stuff, it's not important to me. What's important to me is, if I can get to the bus on time, or I can get my car cleaned, or if I can make my bills, or if I can do this, or if I can do that. And, and I have to step back and say, but not maintaining good hygiene or caring about how you look and all is part of health. And health is what makes those other things function better. Like your health should be at the top of your list. It's character. It's character. I mean, we're taught character. We're taught respect. We're taught character. We're taught a lot of things. You're not born with that. You have to be taught that. And a person that doesn't have any respect for the way they look or feel, but gives more shit about what the neighbors think, so they're doing something else or whatever, as opposed to taking care of themselves. You have to wonder what you're going to teach your children. The same thing. And of course we do that with weight. Our children, we fat adults, we make fat babies. We make fat babies, they turn into fat children, and then we allow them to stay fat because we haven't gotten out of that hole. So why should they? That's the only environment they know. But basically 2025 is about getting healthy. Ask yourself right now at this point in the podcast, okay, I would say, Chris, are you healthy? Are you healthy? Are you a healthy person right now? And if not, where are you lacking that you want to make a change? What do you want to improve, or what do you want to maintain? What goals do you want to set? What do you want? And that would be it. And it doesn't mean that I'm a failure standing here right now. It just means that I want to make what's better, and I want to slough off what's no longer needed. I have 6 areas in my life that I create goals with. And I do this not daily, but enough. I do it enough. And I could say maybe a month, like every couple months, but my meditation, faith in that area. Okay. And these aren't in any order. I'm just giving the list that I have. My fitness, my family, my career, my finances, and then my free time. And I answer each area, where am I lacking in that? Because if you can think of anything else to slide in between there, go ahead. But I think those 6 are pretty much, because my future, I build a vision for my life from the moment, um, you know, that I can remember, from whenever. And all I've done each time as life has changed was just change it out. But where do I see myself this time next year? Where do I see myself in January? Where do I see myself in 5 years? And I already know. I could give you an answer even in 10 years. And what I thought 5 years ago when I was married and I had my company and all that, I thought, okay, at 65, I'm going to retire and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then life happens and you just have to tear up the list and make a new one. Because transformation begins with self-awareness. If you are not going to hang on to something and drag it out or be dysfunctional because it didn't go your way. So I got divorced, okay? I boo-hooed for a minute and I moved on, okay? But here I am 2.5 years later, damn near 3. And I will tell you right now, it happened. It's great. I'm very happy. I'm in a great place, but it's transformation, and that is life. You have to accept when things have to transform into something else, when they have to evolve, and you have to understand where you were then and where you are now and where you want to go. And these steps are all about reflection. You have to craft your vision. You must. You must craft a vision for the littlest thing. I will be doing an entire podcast on what I call, and it's my crazy 30 days. I'm telling you right now. But I literally have a calendar that I put out for 30 days for myself. And I write on an empty calendar one thing for 30 days. And I usually do it in January. And I've been doing it for a couple years now. It's not like I've been doing it my whole life, but I am so stuck on this. I almost look forward to it because I say, like last month, I wanted to start tearing out my closets and I wanted to paint my bathroom cabinet and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I said, no, I'll do it in January because that's my 30-day craze. And that 30 days is, so I take a blank calendar and I write January 1st. I'm going to clean out all my kitchen food that's expired and foods that no longer suit me, blah, blah, blah. And then on the January 2nd, I will make sure that I do like all meal prepping. And then January 3rd, I may take down all my Christmas stuff. And then January 4th, I'm going to vacuum all my couches. And January 5th, I'm going to clean all my windows. And January 6th, I'm going to start, painting my bathroom cabinets, whatever it is. But I will complete that task come hell or high water. That will happen. Sometimes something happens where I physically can't do it, or, time or work or something has gone where I had to switch that day with another day. But whatever those 30 things are, they will be accomplished by the end of the month. And let me tell you, there's nothing more gratifying than self-gratification. And that is crafting a vision for yourself. I craft 30 days for the month of January. That is my goal. And I will share that with you in another episode. But picture the person you want to become. I knew last year in January, picture the person you want to become by the end of January 2025. And now you're saying, well, Chris, I don't even know what the hell I want to be at the end of this year. Well, you can't, because you should have thought about it last January. So give yourself a year. That's a great time to give any diet a chance, any relationship a chance, any change a chance. In 2005, 2025 is not even here yet. In 2005, but I already knew in 2003, it took me 2 years, that I was going to pack up and move from New Jersey to Arizona. I knew that I was going to, and I moved by myself with my son. I packed up and moved. I came out and visited over the year a couple times, found a house and just went home, sold my home, packed up everything, got rid of what I didn't need, and I headed west. That was crafting my vision. I knew I was going to do it. I wanted to make that big change. So if you got a big change you want to do, it might take a year, but you have to start implementing what you need to do for it now. So moving this along, I want to say, absolutely craft a vision. Reflect honestly, assess your strengths. What areas do you need growth? What habits do you have to change, good and bad? If you're smoking and you want to quit, it might take you a year. You might say, okay, I'm going to start this way and I'm going to do it this way. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to do it this way. And if you start something and it breaks on you, the goal or whatever you're going to go after, the vision, don't stop doing it. Oh, because it's not working. You think this company that I'm BHealthy, my supplement company, took off the minute I launched it? You got to be kidding me. So don't give up. Start it again, because your goal by the end of the year was to quit smoking. And don't say, okay, I'll do it again in October. Well, actually setting a date is always the best way to do it. If you have a date set, don't get anxiety about it. Look forward to it. Change that way right there. Quit creating sabotage and anxiety for every time you make a plan for something, and don't be lazy about it. Define your future self. Okay. And that's in your reflection. That's in your crafting your vision. Picture the person you want to become by the end of 2025. Envision your characteristics, envision your habits, your lifestyle, and what version of yourself do you want to live with? That where you get up every day and you actually fucking like yourself. And I'm not talking about the other people around you. I'm not talking about your environment. I'm talking about your car. I'm not talking about your career. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about you. You have to like you first. That's one Be Healthy life. Are you happy with you? You can clean the yard all you want. You can paint your house. You can pick the best man, um, and he could be a great husband and you can have great kids and all this other stuff. But if you look in the mirror every day at what you see and it is not making you happy, then that's where we are going to craft the vision from. These are the steps of reflection. Picture the person you want to be. You want to go back to school to be a nurse. You want to go back to school to be a police officer. You want to go to school to be a teacher. You want to travel. You want to save $200 a month. You want to get a second job. You want to have a cleaner car. You want your kids to learn better. You want to read every night. You want to join a book club. You want to lose weight. You want to quit smoking. You want to start walking. You want to do something. Whatever it is, you have to craft that vision and you have to make that leap in everything you do. And you can number your stuff as far as 1 to 10, and 10 being, oh my god, this is going to be so hard. I want to get a new job. I want to look for a new job. I'm going to give myself 30 days to look for a new job, and it's going to be hard, and then I'm going to do that. And then do it. And then do it, because it's going to make you happy. But just know that you need to turn over every stone before you make any major changes. If there's a man or woman in your life right now that you're saying, I have been holding on to this relationship for a couple of years and I can honestly tell you, Chris, I am not happy, then make that decision and get out. Figure it out. Make the jump. Make the jump. And don't worry about the failure, because anything that you strive for, I would rather fail 1,000 times trying to succeed than never having to fail at all. Because out of those 1,000 times, and I don't want to say it's 1,000, I think it's 10. I don't know how many people do you have to approach before you get one sale? 100, 1,000? I don't know. There's so many different, statistics on what you need to do, but you need to jump. And you need to not be afraid. And fear is what holds us back. And we all know that. And I think I did a podcast on fear. So fear and change, it goes together. You have to. There's this ship story I remember, a ship, SHIP, like sailing ship. It's a story. And I remember I heard it not too long ago, but it was a few years ago. But, and it was a seminar that I had attended online. And I think it was even during the pandemic, now that I think about it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So this ship story was about, and it's held in my head, and it was about fear, and it was about jumping, and it was about taking a leap and going after what you want. And of course, that's what this seminar was about. It was, in career management and going after your goals and blah, blah, blah. So, and I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, so I'm not afraid of failure. I am certainly not afraid of failure. And I am not afraid of telling people that, no, that didn't work. I tried this though, and this worked, and I tried that and that worked. Oh, and I tried those two things and that didn't work. But the ship story is, okay, so right now, and I'll use the analogy with this. So right now you're on ship 2024 and you're sinking. You're sinking, and 2025 is coming, down the ocean or the water, and you see it coming. And you're on this ship 2024 that's sinking, and you're getting to the edge, and 2025 is coming along, and it's gonna brush right by you, and you're gonna have to make a decision to jump. At what time is going to be accurate to jump? When it's in the middle of coming by you, when it first comes to you, when the beginning of the ship comes to you, when 2025 ship starts to go past you, are you going to run and jump? If you jump and miss, because if you think about the physical jump from one ship to another in the middle of an ocean, there's a big gap there, and it's scary. So if you can envision what I'm saying is to take that jump from 2024 to 2025, if you fall in between and miss that ship 2025, you're going to go into the water and you're going to drown. I mean, you're going to get, whatever, eaten by sharks or whatnot. But if you stay in 2024 stuck, you're going to drown. You got to jump to 2025. And what I'm trying to say to you is, don't think about falling in between. Don't think about failing whatever list you're going to make for yourself. You're making a personal statement to yourself. You're writing down a purpose as to why you exist. You have to remember why you started. That is my purpose statement. And I think everybody should make one. So if before, when you get off of this podcast from listening, make a purpose statement for yourself and write it down and live with that. You can go online and you can print it out and you could get a little sign made on Amazon or wherever. I had one made and it sits above my door in front of my desk and it says, remember why you started. And every single time, every single day, shit starts to get funky with me. And it doesn't matter what it is in my life, whether it be a decision that I made or a decision that was made for me, whatever it is remember why I started. That's my purpose statement. But when you take that leap from 2024 ship to 2025, do not look down, just jump. And you're going to have to tuck and roll. You're going to have to figure it out, but you can do it. So if you have some major changes that you have to do and you crafted a clear picture of what you want, know that you need to do that. You need to accomplish that, because 2024 sticking back and overloading your list of to-dos and your chores, delegate that shit out to your family. You know, if you got too much shit on your plate, get out of it. Neglecting self-care, stop doing that. Stop ignoring your physical health. If you have any signs going on, get it fixed. If you have a massive hole in your happiness and in your heart, you got to figure that out. You got to maintain a healthy diet. You got to get on some kind of regimen, supplements. You have to change your mood. You have to change your energy, and you have to figure out for yourself what's going to do that. If you've been neglecting your physical health, nothing is going to work. It's time to make that change. Quit smoking, go on a diet, quit your job, find another job, start that business. You know, kick those kids out if they're in their 20s, 30s, whatever. If your daughter comes home and she's got a baby in her belly, tell her I'll be there when I can, but I can't make your life my life. We're not here to take on everybody else's stuff. Stop holding on to grudges. Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. So if somebody has pissed you off or you have grudges, you don't have to talk to them anymore, but forgive them, even if it's in silence. Forgive them and truly forgive them and walk away. Stop comparing yourself to others. That's a big one. Find your thing, people. Find your thing. I'm telling you, take that leap and find your thing. And it doesn't matter what it is: Pilates, football, basketball, volleyball, walking, running, hiking, sewing, crocheting. I don't care. Golfing. It doesn't matter. Lifting weights. Find your thing. Find your thing. Find a physical thing. Ignoring your feelings as to why you're feeling a certain way. Stop doing that. Stop suppressing your feelings if they're negative. Stop suppressing trauma. Stop suppressing people that are pissing you off. If somebody is treating you a certain way, fucking make it stop. End of story. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Living in the past, let them go. If somebody wants you out or you know that you are not wanted, let them go. Get the fuck out. You deserve better. Define who you are. Do you know that humans are the only species capable of mentally transporting themselves into the past and the future? I read that somewhere and it stuck with me. Humans are the only species that hold on to shit. That's why dogs love us. They understand the word, and horses, what unconditional love is, because they don't hold on to abuse and past and trauma. And believe me, animals have lived with it as long as we have. Animals have been tortured as long as humans have. And if you think, well, the human life is greater than that, who the fuck are you to say that? I think animals deserve the same respect we do as humans. We're just smarter. It doesn't make us better. So if you are stuck in something, get the hell out. If somebody doesn't want you anymore and they say it's not working out, as soon as you hear that word, you're never going to fix it. I don't know who the hell you think you are, but you're never going to fix it. I don't care. I love them. You know what? They don't love you. Get out. Make yourself feel better. Be better. Do not hold on to someone that doesn't want you anymore. Our pasts always lead us to dwell on past regrets. Don't be a regret. Don't be a person of regret. Okay? Don't stay in 2024 and sink. Don't fall in between the two ships. Living in the past is not healthy. Healthy items are, but not the things that are traumatizing you or pissing you off or hurting you or harnessing your future. Living in the present is always the key to happiness. It allows us to fully appreciate and enjoy what's happening in our life in every moment. Enjoy your children, enjoy your house, enjoy your moment, enjoy your relationship, enjoy your work. If it all makes you happy, embrace that shit. And anything that isn't making you happy, get it the fuck out. If your ass is too big, get rid of it. If your heart hurts when you walk because you're overweight or you're unhealthy, get it fixed. And you'll be happy when you get that promotion. Go get the promotion. Don't wait for it to come to you. You got to jump on that ship. You have to disconnect from any shit and garbage in your past. 2024 is gone. It's going to be gone in a few weeks. Okay? Try not to be on the screen too much, people. I can only tell you one thing right now that I'm going to tell you that I do know that is a very unhealthy thing, and I've been paying attention to it. So we 2024, the average person spends 6.5 to 7 hours a day on a screen. And I know you have to work and do stuff like that, but I'm talking about off time. So if you have 24 hours in a day and you minus that 7 hours of screen time, that leaves you with 17. If you have 17 hours left, you sleep 7 of that. That'll leave you with 10 hours in a day. Take that 10 hours and you go into work, 8 hours of that, leaving you with only 2 hours for what? Your fun and your self-care, your chores, your love, your family, what? Think about your time. Take 24 hours, take it right now on a piece of paper, write down everything you do in 24 hours, write it down and tell me how much time you have in there for self-care. You better have time in there for that. Stop complaining about things, positive thinking, always see an opportunity for growth. Try asking, what can I learn from this instead of complaining? I hate complainers are bitter. They're Nancy's. You know that. Our environments affect our moods, and clutter can be a downer. So know that if you have clutter, put it on your list. Get it on your list. Find your worth, because it's worth having a particular value, and that is you. You are the particular value. What is worth? If you look up worth in a dictionary, it's having a particular value. I know that what my value is. I've always known my value. And I hold on to my value. Just a basic reflection. Where am I currently in each critical area of my life? Do that. Just do a basic reflection on yourself. What area in my life do I want to change? What do I have to do? What specific actions do I need to take to make progress in each area of my life? So if anybody you know is suffering and or needs to make change, if you want to get a buddy system going or whatever you want to do, please share this podcast. I want to thank everybody for joining me today on One Be Healthy Life. I want to know how you are doing in the new year. I would love to hear how you have just taken a hold of your life and jumped from 2024 ship that was sinking into 2025, and that I want to hear you made it. I want to hear that you made it, even with the struggles. And like I said, if anybody you know wants to enjoy this podcast, please forward it to them. We are One Be Healthy Life. You can get a hold of us on BeHealthySupplements.com. Our podcasts will be listed there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. But One Be Healthy Life has one objective, and we are to help others develop and have the tools they need to be healthy, because without it, what else is there? My name is Chris with One Be Healthy Life, and I thank you for joining me today. And I wish you all a wonderful ending in your 2024. And I can't wait to hear from you in 2025 in all your new endeavors and what reflection you have done on yourself to make your life healthier. Thank you, and have a great day.